Welcome back, video creeps. We did it. We watched all 3 Fear Street movies. Pats on the back. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me, man. It's been a long road. I know it's been like 3 weeks, but still, it feels like more intimate. I don't feel like we have to do the rundown of what we're doing here. Like Fear Street, you know what's up. You know why you're here. You click the video. I make my thumbnails so clear. So let's just do it. Like I'm just gonna we're gonna do the intro, and then we're gonna talk about this movie, and then we're done. We're gonna get out of here. All right. So Fear Street, 1666. Let's go. All right, so just like the other two, like I did not write a full review for this thing. I'm just gonna tell you my thoughts. You're getting in my brain. We're doing this shit together. It's beautiful. First things first, like going into this thing, I was not super excited. Like I was kind of riding the high of like 78, so I was like, all right, 78 was rad. So 1666 is gonna be rad too. Nah, I have strong opinions. I did not like this as much as I like the last one, spoiler. But I will say, like, I have a problem with watching period pieces because, like, I don't like the accents. Nobody knows how to dress. And overall, everyone just looks dirty in period pieces. Like, everybody's showering with a bucket and you know it. I don't like that shit. I like when we turn that corner and, like, soap wasn't like a fucking bar. Like I like when we got liquid soap and shit. But like the accents didn't bug me in this, even though like we know that everybody was doing like a fake 16th century accent. Like fucking that didn't bug me at all. And I was pretty like worried about that. And I feel like that set an early tone for me with this film. Like fucking, it's like this guy beat me up a bunch, but then he drove me home. That's what this film feels like for me. I don't know. Like on one hand, I'm like super stoked that they brought everybody back from part 1 and then part 2. Like all these characters that we really got to like, they all come back, and then it's like cool. But then they're like, oh, but they're not really a part of the movie. Like I love Sadie, but they did her so dirty in this movie. She was barely in this thing, and then when we finally do get to hang out with her, she's like fucking Freddy versus Jason hospital and shit. That was whack. I would have liked for her to play a much bigger part in this, as well as her sister Cindy. Her sister, like, why do we even need her? You guys were just getting rid of Cash at that point. Like, y'all did not need her in this film. Why bring back all of these different cast members that we started to like if you weren't going to give them like a huge role? Like I thought, I also going into this film, I thought we were signing up for something totally different. Like I wasn't thinking that Dina wasn't going to be aware that she was Dina and shit. I thought her and her friends were all going to like band together and shit and be like, oh, now we're in a pickle, 1666, how weird. But no, and like I guess I also like respect that because then we did get to learn the actual tale of what happened with Sarah and like that, or the fuckery that came with it. But again, it just wasn't the film that I thought I was signing up for. Even though it was like vaguely reminiscent of the first one, like, rare is it the 1600s representation of lesbian love, which of course gave a little bit of parallels between Dina and Sam's relationship throughout all 3 movies and shit. That's kind of neat. But it wasn't enough. Like that's what happens with this movie time and time again. It just wasn't enough. Like they all take Wild 'N Out berries and then they have like sexy time in the woods, which by the way, I would have liked to see way more shenanigans on the Wild 'N Out berries. Instead, it gave me like this thing like, all right, I'm not a prude. Fucking, I don't think anyone would call me a prude. And if you do, you can fucking not say that about me because I have feelings and like shit hurts. But there's like a weird like check out these chicks touching each other's boobs and stuff scene between like 16th century Sam and Dina, and I was uncomfortable. I don't know why. These are fucking kids. At no point in this did I think like, oh yeah, no, these are adults. Like they look like fucking kids. And like, come on, Netflix, didn't you just get in trouble for this shit? Like it doesn't go on for too long, but when it does happen, like I don't like it. That said though, like the actress who plays Dina, she fucking brought it, and I believed her. She's doing like acting in this movie. She's like sad, she in the dirt and shit. Like I thought she was a great lead. And I really think that she steps her game up. There's a lot of stepping your game up by the 3rd film. Like it makes me wonder if they filmed these movies sequentially. But I did see like a little bit of improvement with that character. Also like fucking the Tom Slater from 78 and then like the Mad Tom from fucking 1666. Like I love that actor. Like I am very excited to see him in more stuff. I thought he absolutely killed it. Like what a range on that fucking kid. These are the things that like kind of kept me into watching 1666 throughout the whole film, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of in the boat with everyone else where like I did get fatigue on the Fear Street movies, which sucks because like you would think like fucking I should be excited and pumped that I'm getting one every week, and in theory I love that. It's probably why we didn't get Halloween Kills and then Halloween Ends in the same month like how we thought we were gonna get it last year. You can easily fatigue an audience, and I think that was kind of going on towards the end of this Fear Street trilogy. Still, there were things that I liked about this film, like the pile of eyes in the church where you see all the kids have been slaughtered and shit. Yeah, we lost fucking Sadie and like we lose little Josh, but like I kind of fucking like that. That looked cool. And then seeing all the bodies from the premonitions that we've been seeing leading up to this point, that was rad. I really enjoyed that. But yo, ultimately, like it's kind of impressive how like tense this movie can be for kind of a boring film. And like I said, like that's how I feel about this movie. Like every time that I'm like, that was kind of cool, but that also over there, that kind of sucked. That's that feeling. I can't escape it throughout this entire thing. Big highs and big lows that ultimately led me to kind of like phone scrolling and shit. Something else that I liked about it was the hanging scene when we actually get to see Sarah die. That was effective. I felt that shit. Maybe it's because they actually put in the groundwork for me to care about little Sarah. But again, that's like fucking one of like 4 things that I really enjoyed. Beyond that, I was kind of like, all right, I have to watch this, so I'm watching this. I shouldn't feel that way about this movie in a trilogy. Like I should be fucking pumped. This is when everything should be going down. I should be fucking dick to the wall, banging it out. And then that part ends, and then we enter into 1994 too, which I was fucking surprised, and honestly I needed by that point in the film. Like it's about an hour, you get 1666, and then the last like 40 minutes or whatever asshole is like the fucking 1994 part 2. And that's when we learn about like the sheriff and like the, oh, by the way, was I the only one that was like super fucking shocked that Solomon was fucking Sheriff Good? I did not put that together at all. Very good camouflage there. I was shocked. I was surprised. I did not know that was the same dude. 1994 Part 2 just brought some fucking cool heat that I needed to reinvigorate me towards this movie. Like the additional character of making like Martin a fucking main guy that's running with the crew. That was awesome. I thought Martin was really fucking funny. And by proxy, I ended up actually liking Josh a lot more. I remember in one of my earlier reviews talking about how like Josh needs to step his game right up because I couldn't remember it. Now look at me. Josh, motherfucker, I know your name. I see you. There was a lot of cool things that happened in the end of this movie. Like the killer fight with all the killers killing each other because they have the blood on it. That was rad. That's the kind of shit that I fucking want. But again, ultimately, this film was kind of blasé for me. And looking back at the first 1994, I actually think I placed that above this one. At least 1994 was a consistent film, but this fucking 1666 felt so off kilter. Like how many hands were in this honeypot to make this movie? It just doesn't feel good. And then at the end of the credits, when we get the stinger with someone grabbing the book, it's like, come on. I just don't give a shit, and that's a bummer. I should fucking be so stoked, and I really wasn't. So ultimately, fucking, I just don't give a shit. That's the saddest thing about it. The biggest climactic part of this little Fear Street trilogy, where I should be really stoked, I'm not. And I'm left kind of like, well, shit, I should watch something good now. And that's never how you should feel after watching a movie. Guys, if you made it to the end here, thank you so much for not being a bitch and watching my whole video. You're the shit. If you're not already following me across my social media, all that shit is in the description of this video right down here. If you're new, please subscribe because I talk about horror all the time. I mean, sometimes I talk about Disney and shit, but like that's only sometimes. Like the video because that helps me get a little bit more engagement. Leave me a comment. That way I know what you thought about the movie as well, and we could just have a quick little dialogue. And if you want to see my face again, hit the notification bell so that way you know when I drop new shit. And of course, if you want to go above and beyond, and you got $3 little to help me fucking live and sustain my life, try becoming a Patreon with the link down below. Other than that, I'm fucking out of here, man. Peace, video creeps. We're gonna talk about some other shit on the next video. I'm done. Deuces.
Listen, baby girl, I'm not your senpai, but I'm more than down to be your main guy. Telling you about horror films, taking you out for a ride. Baby girl, if you want, I'll be your senpai. Rebecca Reviews and Kyoko, Larry Sherman and Corey Stewart, yo, Carl Woman and Spooky. Butcher's Grindhouse and Lolo X-Core. Runs with punks from Michael Andrews. That would lead me to Captain Boots. Grimness Survivors, Kill Flag Voorhees. Wig Wolf, Yo Adrian, Leilani. It goes Lil Lady Horror. And then we got Jessica Rabbit. This is your shout out to every single one of you, cause you know that I love you. Baby, I wanna be a senpai, your number one motherfucking hard-ass guy. I wanna take you for a ride with my little silly lines when I do my little dance and I do my little, oh, can I be a fucking senpai? Let me be a motherfucking daddy senpai. I wanna be your horror dude, wanna be your main guy. Come on, baby, let me be your fucking senpai. Yeah. Yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh.